Hi everybody, Greg here to talk to you today about heart-based living and why should you pay attention to heart-based living. Well, if you're sick of the agony and the drama of the mind, then it's time for you to discover how to get into the heart. Maybe you're fed up of stressing and panicking about many different things in life. If that's the case, again, time to get out of the head and into the heart. Or if you're also bored of things like indecision and procrastination, it's time for you to make that journey to begin to enjoy heart-based living instead. So in India, the mind is described as a drunken monkey. Think about it, a drunken monkey that has been stung by a scorpion. So it's not just that your mind's a monkey going absolutely chaotic. It's been on the lotion as well. It's drunk beyond belief. So a monkey that's all over the place. And then to add insult to injury, it's then been stung by a scorpion. Can you imagine how chaotic and out of control that sort of mind is? These are the sort of minds that most people in society and in the world are living with. So stay with that thought. And again, remember, this is the reason to get out of this mind and into this heart-based living. So what's inspired me here is, for me, an understanding actually through many beautiful teachings that the mind is in fact a tool, and that I want to help to support you like I'm doing in utilizing the mind as a tool, which means it's got an on and an off switch. Surprisingly it might be, but that switch is in fact there. And then understanding how we can use the mind as a tool while learning to access the many, many magical gifts of the heart that are available for your personal transformation. And remember, this is a journey. So what is heart-based living? Well, we are here in order to learn how to, as I say, manage the head and get into the heart, to experience and enjoy what we call intuitions that arise from the heart, things that are known as aspirations that give us absolute direct guidance in terms of how we should be behaving and where we should be heading. It may be counterintuitive to you, but focusing into your heart and not the mind will help you to solve many of life's problems. You may be familiar with the term center yourself. Have you heard people say, look, center yourself? And normally centering yourself is about when you're about to do something important, maybe something dynamic in life. And centering yourself is also the place that you do that is inside of the heart. So consider that when you center yourself in the heart, and that's when you're prepared to give the best performances that you can in this phenomenal life that you're here to lead. Now, it might be that you're interested in new ways of being intuitive and being creative, and that also calls for this shift. It's shifting your perspective from a head-based perspective to a heart-based perspective. Let's get a view of this. So let's say we go on a walk up a fell side, and we get to so many meters on the walk, maybe similar to the views that you can see behind me. And I say to you, what is it that you can see now? And from this perspective, the height that we've reached, all you can see all around you is trees. Your vision's completely blocked by everything other than trees. And you look at me in a confused, peculiar way, and you say, all I can see is trees. And then I say to you, okay, that's great. Let's continue to climb. And we ascend then for another 20 minutes. And then I say to you, what can you see now? Well, think about it. We've got a new vantage point. We've shifted perspective. And all of a sudden you say, wow, I can look down. I can see the lake. I can see villages. I can see a road below. I can see a school. I can see cars moving. I can see people in the distance. I can see other fell sides, hillsides. What have you experienced? Simply, you've risen and changed your perspective. And this is what I'm talking to you about. This is the change from mind-based living to heart-based living. It is about a huge transformational shift in perspective. So the mind is that first viewing point where all that you can see is the trees. And as sometimes people say, they're that hard up against one tree, they can't see the wood for the trees. In fact, they're getting bark burn. They're that close to a particular tree. That's the mind. And the second perspective, that higher perspective, this is about you having the massive benefit of this hugely enlarged view. So, how can heart-based living help you and help me and help all the people around us simultaneously? Well, the mind offers the lower perspective. It argues, it creates issues, it generates mental agony. So what I'm saying is get into your heart and put a stop to this. The mind is also seeing problems. The mind is there triggering stress responses inside of you and inside of your mind-body system. Focus into the heart and put an end to these triggers, put an end to these responses. Thirdly, the mind is a hotbed for indecision and for procrastination. When you focus into the heart, not only will you be spontaneous, you'll also be creative and you will be solutions focused. So are you prepared to pay the price? Do you want this expanded, elevated view that comes with living in the heart? Do you want to be solutions based? Ask yourself, do you want more answers than issues? Are you committed to going on the journey simply from A to B, from the head to the heart? Are you committed in going on that journey to living as a full human being, enjoying heart-based tranquility, peace, answers, and solutions? So who will do this? Many people will watch these videos or excerpts from these videos, but who will go on this journey? So some people who are doing okay in life and who are ready to commit to go to greatness. That's right, we see people living in the mind and doing okay, but they're not enjoying greatness. Greatness comes from the heart. So those people will be prepared to go on the journey. Also curious human beings, people that are explorers who want to open untapped potentials that lie hidden within, and simply due to a lack of knowledge or even some ignorance that's been present in their environment, they've not been able to access this information, and also the wonderful gifts, the treasures, those hidden qualities that are simply there beneath the surface that require you to go on this adventure or this journey. Also, people who sadly have learned to experience massive amount of pain in their life that's come from living with this challenging tool called the mind. Those people are prepared to go on this journey because they've simply had enough. They're fed up and they are ready to choose to change. You're also going to have friends who have tried everything. People that have failed before, but people who are fairly resilient and who are ready to make another effort on the road. And those people that are ready to go again, to look for a new solution, they're the people who are prepared to do this. Will it be easy? No, not every day. If I told you it's going to be easy every day, I'd be lying to you. Certain things in life that are worthwhile are what? They're an uphill struggle. So be prepared to put in the efforts and the super efforts. Sadly, in our society, everybody's after a quick fix, which very rarely exists. You need to be able to pay the price of a true education that will lead to your personal development and your transformation. So be ready for the uphill climb, with the promise when you reach the top of spectacular panoramic views. That's right, once you go on the journey from the head to the heart, that is what is waiting for you. So how can you get started? How can you change your perspective and go from being head focused to having this heart-based living? Well, cultivating an environment in which your heart can flourish. That's right, you need to plant yourself in the right context, in the right environment, in order to allow this heart-based living to grow. So some simple ideas that are going to begin to support you. And these aren't problematic or challenging, yet they do require effort. Smile at yourself in the mirror. In fact, begin to smile more often at more people. Yeah, think about smiling. Smiling does naturally take effort because we have to communicate from the heart to the face to say, please smile, and smile beautifully. So start smiling at yourself in the mirror and start smiling at other people. Be an optimist, not a pessimist. When all those people are saying, you know, how are you today? Oh, terrible day, problem is, challenges are. Be the person who says, wow, the solutions that I encountered today, the things that I overcame today, the things that I went beyond today. Speak in terms of optimism, solutions. Begin to be the light in the environment that shines magically, not just now through your smiles, through your optimism. Be that optimistic person and notice that the world around you will change. Make small gestures and deliver acts of kindness. Be kind in the environment that you're living in. So, and this doesn't need to be expensive. You might write one-line poems to people that you love saying, I see, darling, I see your beautiful blue eyes. They're radiant. They not only light your face up, they light me up inside as well. Make small gestures that go a long way and communicate to people from the heart. And then if you see the quality or qualities in another person, you might see someone's courage, see someone overcoming something. Point out what it is that you're seeing. You may see beauty in another human being. Tell them how beautiful that they are. And again, what are all these solutions about? These solutions are all pointing to us living in the heart and from the heart. Take the challenge. Take on any 1, 2, 3 or more of these. And these are just the beginning, by the way. These are the small seeds that we're planting within the heart space in order to be able to begin to enjoy heart-based living. So consider now if nature was doing this and showing us. Would the tree, for example, when the sun's shining, only offer its shade to some people and not to others? Of course not. Nature is there to support everybody. And think about the mountain stream of fresh water flowing down from the heights as the snow's melting all around. Is that water only there to quench the thirst of some people and not others? No, of course not. Nature gives abundantly. And the oxygen in the air that we breathe, what if the oxygen in the air began to say, oh no, oxygen's not available to you? It doesn't work like that. So let's reflect the nature that's around us and let's give abundantly and freely to all of the individuals that we encounter on our path, while simultaneously giving to ourselves by sharing from the heart. So in summary, to transform, you need to commit to make the change. You need to dare to be different. This is paradoxical. You'll be one of the few when you stop thinking with the head and start to engage with the heart. Let's start a loving revolution. That's right, one person at a time. Start with yourself. Be the change. Just start with you. Encounter and engage in this loving revolution. Bring these qualities into the environment. And after all, I believe that you, like many others, deserve the answer to many of the challenges that you face in life. And the answers come from the new perspective, from the higher perspective, from heart-based living. Thanks for listening. Enjoy the amazing environments you're in and enjoy the day and your life ahead. And I look forward to speaking with you again soon. Namaste.